The marketplace of ideas offers you many attractive options, but not all reflect truth. Do you ever wonder why some people see the world with such a different perspective than others? Surprisingly, most people's beliefs are not driven by facts alone. We tend to adopt beliefs consistent with our worldview, beliefs sometimes contrary to the facts, and most of us don't even realize it. A worldview is like a pair of glasses that you wear to help filter out the glare and see the world clearly, except that the lens can also distort some of the facts. Worldviews are mostly helpful until they distort the truth. Science is a tool to help us discern the truth, and as Christians, we should pursue the facts of science vigorously, aware of the possible distortions from a worldview lens. Absolute truth does exist, and it is our responsibility to seek out the truth and discern between truth and error. In this class, we will address the question of origins and the fossil record, and sort out the facts from the theories, the science of sedimentary rock structure, fossil formation, and how the science relates to evolutionary theory are all on the list of topics. God gave us science so that we could learn about His creation. We should expect that as we learn more about creation, science will point us back to a creator. But as science brings us to a deeper understanding of cellular microbiology and the intricacies of cell biochemistry, it strains our imagination to presume that life came about by random chance. We will explore the insides of the cell, the design of micromechanical machines, as simple as the flagellum on a bacterium, and as complicated as the replication of DNA in the cell nucleus. The complexity of the biochemistry of the cell, operating like an incredibly complex clockworks, points more toward a clockmaker than to a blind process of evolution driven by random chance. We will examine the facts of science and explore the ideas of evolution and intelligent design, and attempt to discern what theories are consistent with the observations that science brings us. The fields of astronomy and cosmology have made incredible discoveries in the past 10 years. We will look at what science has revealed about the universe and how modern science theories attempt to explain the facts. Are we part of the multiverse, one of an infinite number of parallel universes? Are we a hologram, just an image of reality which exists in a higher dimension? Or are we just a product of software, a real-life group simulation right out of the Matrix trilogy? So come join us on Sunday mornings, take the red pill, and let's explore together how deep the rabbit hole of modern science takes us. Are you interested in science and the Bible? Hear from a few of our young adults why are they interested in the class and how learning to maneuver through the marketplace of ideas might help them to develop discernment skills. We look forward to seeing you.
I'm looking forward to hearing a biblical perspective on scientific topics. That's usually you get very humanistic or atheistic perspective on anything to do with science, particularly to do with the life sciences. Like to hear about creation and the various ways that we can reconcile the 7 days of creation with what we know from science.
It interests me to try to find the intersection of science and the Bible because I don't think that they have to be different. I think that some people think it's this here and this here, but like so many things in creation, everything is integrated and everything is connected in some way, and I would like to have one discussion about how to understand all of it.
People like Galileo and others were inspired to the field of science because of their faith in the Bible and what it told them about searching out the mysteries of nature and the universe. So to me, faith in Christianity as well as scientific knowledge don't have to be at odds with each other.
With teachers in schools for my normal job, and they talk about different standards like the Common Core, and the new one coming out is called Next Generation Science Standards, and it teaches that creationism isn't even a theory. It's not allowed to be discussed. It's taught that evolution is fact. So I would actually like to learn more about intelligent design and why it's a legitimate theory that scientists should consider and why students should be taught it in schools. Because right now I usually avoid the topic because they usually know more than I do about science.
I think just trying to compare, see the differences between the science that we know of and the Bible, and try to link the two. Trying to discern whether or not the Bible is true and can prove what science has to offer, and kind of vice versa, seeing the differences between the two.
The Bible isn't supposed to be a science textbook, but I think that all our findings in science will match the Bible. I think the Bible is the ultimate source of truth, and what we discover in science helps us learn about the world that God's made, but the Bible is our primary source to learn about God.
I think that He gave us science in order to help prove Him. I think in everything that He provides, it's to His glory. And He just, I think I heard a quote, I'm not sure, I think it was from a pastor, but he gave us enough knowledge to kind of understand Him, but just barely enough to keep that mystery and to keep that that urge for us to discover that truth. And so I think that's the good thing about science. It gives us a method of following knowledge, and then when we combine that with the knowledge that God gives us, we can kind of put the whole story together.
I don't know much about science, and I'm just learning about the Bible, so to see what and how the Bible and science correlate, that would be kind of cool to find out the questions and answers to both, on both sides.
It would equip me to know more about how to defend my faith. It's so easy to be critical of Christians because of our faith-based belief in the Bible and in God. And when I learn more about science, I learn that a lot of modern science is faith-based, philosophy-based. And so I want to be equipped. I want to be more knowledgeable about what science really says, what it doesn't, and how compatible or not incompatible that is with my Christian beliefs.
So I would come to the class just to pick up pieces of information from other people and hear from Christians on how they form their worldview, and I would enjoy that. And it's probably an area that I have not done well in to be informed, so I think it'll be good for me to be more informed in that area so that I can talk intelligently, because that's not something that, as much as I would like to, we only have so much time, so it's not something that I've spent a lot of time on, but I think it'll be good to focus on.
Marketplace of Ideas is hopefully a free market. We hope to define what science is and what its limitations are, and there does not have to be a conflict with the Bible, and I don't think that people are necessarily seeing both sides of the picture. And so we want people to be able to be more informed and make up their own minds. We're certainly not going to be telling people what to believe, but we're going to be showing that what is presented in Scripture, the story that goes along with all the information and the data that we do have, is not inconsistent. What can we really learn from looking at the fossil record? What can we learn from looking at the genome of the animal kingdom and all the proteins and everything else other than the genetics, and how just phenomenally amazing that is? And if we want to help other people who have, for whatever reason, come to a different conclusion, if we want to share what we believe, why we believe, and science is important to them, then this is an opportunity for us to be able to have a seat at the table in the marketplace of ideas.
There are some tenets of the faith that are true, in that God was here in the beginning, and He created the heavens and the earth, and before the earth was, He is. That is truth. What comes from that and how you break that down into an understanding of when things were formed and where we came from and how it exactly happened, I think that there are probably different possibilities, and people who love God and are seeking the truth could very well have different beliefs on those things, and I think that's okay.
We always have to think about, we're human, we don't see everything, we're not omniscient like God is. So some things we will misunderstand, misrepresent, miscalculate, but I think that ultimately what we find through science can help us learn. Like, I don't think we need to just distrust everything we learn in science, but if something seems to disagree, the Bible will be the superior source.
I mean, there's a lot that we don't know. There's a lot that God has not told us, and He wants us to find out on our own. There's an old saying, all that I have seen has taught me to trust the Creator for all that I have not seen. So with the evidence that we do have, I believe it is compelling, and therefore it helps me to trust on the things that we do not yet know.
The decision to believe in creationism or evolution isn't something that our salvation depends on, which I'm very thankful for. I don't think that God expects us to have all the answers. In fact, I think He expects us to walk by faith. And I think He's put us in a very dynamic earth where there's always things to learn, there's always ways to expand our mind, but the more we learn, the more we find that God's ways are infinite and He is so much more powerful and vast than we could ever imagine. So it's a bit like a cat chasing its tail, and it's fun and we enjoy it, but I don't think we're meant to come to exact and right answers about these issues. And I'm grateful for that, because I think it would really cause me to lose a lot of sleep if I had to do that.